Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT, and tonight we are kicking ourselves off with the new NXT champion. You are hearing that correctly. The new NXT champion, Ethan Oligo Page. It seemed like we were gonna. It was an open challenge. Wardlow set it up last week. He said anyone on this roster. Ethan Page won his match earlier on in that night against Joe Hendry, and he mentioned something about him accepting it, and nobody really took it too seriously. But when Wardlow had that open challenge, and MJF came out, and it seemed as if MJF was actually going to accept it, and more stuff came up, and it seems like the Undisputed Era is letting go of Wardlow and everything else. And we'll talk about this more. But MJF said, hey, I'm not going to be the one accepting the open challenge. This man actually is. And this man, Ethan Page, is your champion. I want you all to shut up and listen to greatness when it's standing in front of you. Yeah, boo all you want, but guess what? Your boos, they fuel me. Your hate, it validates me. And this title, this proves I was right all along. Let me make one thing crystal clear about everyone in the back, to every so-called fan sitting out here, and to every loser watching at home. Ethan Page didn't come to NXT to just be another guy. No. I came here to rewrite history. I came here to show the world that I am the future of this business, whether you like it or not. For years I've been overlooked, disrespected, and doubted, but now there's no more ignoring Ethan Page. You can chant for your little favorites all night. But let me tell you something. None of them have what I have. None of them have the power. None of them have the charisma. And absolutely none of them have the brains to do what I do. This title, it isn't going anywhere. Because this brand doesn't belong to you anymore. NXT now belongs to all ego Ethan Page. And if anyone back there thinks they can take this from me, bring it on. I dare you. But be warned, you're not just stepping in the ring with just another guy. You're stepping into my world. So keep booing, keep hating, because deep down, you all know I'm the best thing has ever happened to this brand. And whether you like it or not, I am your NXT champion. So deal with it. And Kenny Omega, I know I have you in just over a month's time, but that gives me plenty of time to strategize and get myself in better in-ring shape to defeat you and shock the world. Kenny, I don't know if you're here tonight or not. I know you've been dealing with the effects of that big match that you had against Logan Paul. You defended it well. Wardlow cashed in on you, so be it. But I'm a whole different animal when it compares to Wardlow and even Logan Paul. Those two cannot lace up the boots of all ego Ethan Page. It's going to be very, very different when me and you go to war in the center of this ring. And with that championship win that I had last week, I think I deserve a vacation away from NXT. So I'm going to head to the back, get in my limousine, and head back home, and I will see you all next week. And maybe Kenny Omega may actually be here as well. So maybe we could have ourselves a little bit of a face-to-face just a month away before our big match at NXT Gold Rush. You've officially held that championship for just a week now, Ethan Page, and you've already won a vacation? You know what? I'll let you have that vacation, but next week I am making it official. You will have a face-off with Kenny Omega like you want. Kenny Omega, I've talked to him. He's doing better, and he's bound to be 100% by the time we get to NXT Gold Rush. Also, Ethan Page, make sure you bring your in-ring gear, because next week you will be in action. I can tell you that now. And I'm going to have to give you a whole week to think about who your opponent is. I'm not going to just tell you who it is since you want to take a vacation. So enjoy your week vacation. You're probably going to need it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be addressing the NXT Gold Rush Premium Live event that will be happening in just 5 weeks' time. We got some stuff that we need to talk about, and that includes the WWE NXT Tag Team Championships, the New Day. Who are they going to be challenging? Well, I'm about to give you that answer. Starting next week, ladies and gentlemen, we will be starting the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So we are going to see a total of 8 tag teams, including Chase U, D'Angelo Family, Gallus, the team of Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, the LWO, the War Raiders, Alpha Academy, and Axiom and Nathan Frazier a part of that tournament. The winner of the Dusty Cup will go on to challenge the New Day live at the NXT Gold Rush Premium Live event for the NXT Tag Team Championships. It's going to be a good tribute night to Dusty Rhodes, who has done so much for this business. Now, the next thing that we want to talk about is Thea Hail, the Women's NXT North American Champion. What is next for her? Well, next week in a number 1 contendership matchup, it will be a fatal 4-way match to determine who will challenge Thea Hail for her Women's North American Championship. While I cannot give you those competitors just yet, it will be official, a fatal 4-way number 1 contenders match next week. Make sure you guys stay tuned to all of our social media accounts to see when that matchup becomes official with those participants. Another thing that we have to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is the NXT North American Champion, Carlito, who defeated Tony D'Angelo at the last premium live event of NXT Spring Break-In. After that matchup, Carlito was viciously beaten down by Oba Femi. While Carlito is still recovering, we have talked to Carlito, and he wants to defend that championship, and he wants to defend that championship against Oba Femi at the next month's pay-per-view. While I don't think it may not be the bestest of ideas for Carlito to want to go after a man of the size and strength of Oba Femi, I'm not going to decline the matchup. So if Carlito wants to defend his championship against Oba Femi in a month's time at NXT Gold Rush, I will make it official. Carlito versus Oba Femi for that NXT North American Championship. And also, one last thing before we get into the action tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are kicking off tonight's affairs with the men's and women's Gold Rush tournament. It's basically the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring on the main roster, but it is the men's and women's Gold Rush tournament. It starts tonight, it starts next, and we're going to see all sorts of great action. So let's get right into it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are kicking off the King of the Ring tournament for the men's side of things, or the Gold Rush tournament, whatever you'd like to really call it. But tonight is the first round of the Gold Rush tournament here in NXT. And you have Dragon Lee, this gentleman part of the LWO, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's future is very bright, but he does not draw the benefit of drawing, let's say, an easier opponent, as he takes on Oba Femi in the first round of this Gold Rush tournament. Not saying that Dragon Lee cannot deal with Oba Femi, but it's probably not the draw that you want in the first round. Dragon Lee, like we mentioned before multiple times, this guy he's the future of Lucha Libre and the future of pro wrestling. And we've seen some glimpses of what he can bring to the table, and this man very well could win this Gold Rush tournament. If he can survive Oba Femi, I could very well see him walking out the winner of this Gold Rush tournament. And Adam Pierce may have not announced this a part of this Gold Rush tournament, ladies and gentlemen, but there's prospective winners of each King of the Ring match of, I guess you can just say, Gold Rush tournament for both side of things, will be able to challenge for their respective brands championship. So obviously the NXT Championship, the NXT Women's Championship. So it's a major thing for these men and women to be able to have that breakout moment. And this man, Oba Femi, he's challenging for the NXT North American Championship. already in a month's time. Oba Femi very well could win this Gold Rush tournament, and could you imagine him holding the NXT North American Championship and the NXT Championship? He did a lot of damage to the NXT North American Champion, and Adam Pierce didn't really say when we'd be seeing Carlito, but he said that, you know, over the month's time he should be ready. So we'll have to really wait and see if there's more to it at all. But it seems like Oba Femi is drawing the LWO early on here, and let's see if Oba can defeat Dragon Lee here. Recently on NXT, we saw Oba Femi go up against Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio defeated Oba Femi. So we'll see tonight if Oba Femi can rebound and defeat a fellow member of the LWO, as he hits a big splash there right on the gut of Dragon Lee. So big haymakers from Oba Femi. He's coming right out of the gate and not messing around. And last week, Rey Mysterio, the veteran in this business, he kept right on Oba Femi, and Oba Femi could not do what he wanted to do at all. It was a nice standing Spanish fly there from Dragon Lee, turning Oba Femi inside out. Dragon Lee trying to outpower Oba Femi here, but obviously that's not going to work out in his favor as he drops Dragon Lee right there on that top rope. And now another splash there from Oba Femi. This man has a lot of potential as well. You got to love the future that we see here in NXT, and we're going to see a lot of that tonight, especially in the women's division. Multiple debuts, with Giulia making her debut later on tonight. And not just this week, but next week we'll have multiple more main roster debuts. Oh, right there, right on the tailbone there of Dragon Lee. And if you're Dragon Lee, you cannot let the man Oba Femi just start destroying allowing him to get his big meaty paws on you and doing these type of maneuvers, military pressing it and just making it look so easy. As look at Oba Femi having natural powers, just being able to stand on top of him there. We know Oba Femi was special, but being able to tower over that guy even taller, making himself almost like 12 foot tall there, is a special power that Oba Femi has from time to time. But look at Dragon Lee fighting back into a snapmare takedown, into a dropkick right to the side of the skull. And this is what Dragon Lee needs to do. Take what you can take at this moment and keep Oba Femi down. But now look at those strikes, okay? Into a DDT, and I believe Oba Femi is busted open now. Dragon Lee may have Oba Femi right where he wants him. Back inside the ring we go. Can Dragon Lee get himself back in this matchup and put away Oba Femi from the high-risk district? High risk, high reward for Dragon Lee. Going for a nice Hurricane Rana into the pinfall. 2. Did he get 2? No, just a 1 count. Very close to a 2. Oba Femi right back up to his feet. Gets hit with a super kick right to the midsection. But Oba Femi not really phased by that Dragon Lee maneuver. And now if you're Oba Femi, I would say you want to start hitting some powerful maneuvers. Maybe some power bombs, choke slams, whatever you got in your repertoire. There's another DDT from Dragon Lee. And Oba Femi doing the right thing, rolling out the way, but rolling kind of where Dragon Lee is pretty good at, with suicide dives and those high-risk maneuvers. So you kind of got to be careful in the terms of how you set up certain superstars. So again, look at Dragon Lee focusing on the ankle. That's a good idea. Focus on the legs, because obviously if Oba Femi can't pick up an opponent for a power bomb or anything that he might be trying to set up in this matchup, well, that's going to favor Dragon Lee, his opponent. Now Dragon Lee continuing to outlast him as a Mexican destroyer there from Dragon Lee. Oba Femi may be counting his days right now, because this might be back-to-back weeks that we see the LWO pick up wins over Oba Femi here. As the knee brace down. This could be it. Dragon Lee from, oh, right down there. Takes down Oba Femi. Pinfall, but the rope break. A rare mistake there from Dragon Lee. And now Lee gonna go up. Frog splash, but no, Oba Femi. Oba Femi moves in and connects with a big boot. Can Oba get himself back in this matchup? That frog splash may very well could have won the matchup if Dragon Lee would have hit that. But now we'll play the what if game all night if we really wanted to. And now Oba Femi with another big splash. Working on the midsection. Shoulders are down. All the weight there. But I just getting a 1 count there. Oba's just surviving right now, it feels like. He's not hitting too many big maneuvers to put away Dragon Lee just yet. I mean, he's done some stuff outside the ring and whatnot, but he hasn't been able to put away Dragon Lee. You can't allow a man the status of Dragon Lee to, I would say, continue to survive this matchup. Dragon Lee saying, "Hey, get up, man, get up. I'm ready to put you away here." As now Lee rebounding clothesline, or rebound Hurricane Rana, pardon me. And now Dragon Lee gonna go high risk one more time. Didn't work last time. Let's see how it works this time. Lee, oh, looking for that Hurricane Rana from the top rope, and it connects. We'd be maybe moments away from Dragon Lee defeating Oba Femi, but now both men getting into a striking battle, part of this Gold Rush tournament. Who is going to advance to the next round of the Gold Rush tournament? Dragon Lee, Oba Femi going back and forth. Big super kick out of nowhere. And that is sure one way to stun your opponent. Dragon Lee now, oh, big spear, takes down the big man. And again, Oba Femi struggling right now. And Dragon Lee just taking to him. Big elbows right to that open cut, that open wound on the head there of Oba Femi. As it just tosses him outside there. But again, with the queen and the king's side of this Gold Rush tournament, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of good matches tonight. Especially your NXT champion, Charlotte Flair. She's a part of that tournament tonight. And she takes on Cora, Jade, a former NXT champion in her own right. Very curious to see how that goes. And obviously later on tonight, Logan Paul goes on one-on-one with Javion Evans, a part of that Gold Rush tournament as well. Dragon Lee and Oba Femi continuing to go at it, using that no count out to their advantage, as they should. It lets these guys be themselves, where it doesn't feel like they have to be rushed. As a vicious knee strike, I guess you could call that almost like a Discord knee there from Dragon Lee. Everyone here in Orlando is loving what they're seeing right now, and if I'm Dragon Lee, I mean, I understand Oba Femi is going to take a lot of damage to an extent, but you gotta throw him back in the ring and try to put him away. But I'm not Dragon Lee. I'm not a professional wrestler. I'm just a announcer calling this high octane action. Is now Dragon Lee, the second time he's hit that in this matchup. Now Dragon Lee has to somehow get the big man back in the ring, and this very well could be it. Back in the ring we go. Dragon Lee, is he going to go for the pinfall right away? Possibly. Yes, he does. Oba Femi down and out. Shoulders are down. And that is it. Back-to-back weeks. The LWO has picked up wins over Oba Femi. And I bet Carlito, wherever he's at, is absolutely happy. Dragon Lee advances to the next round of the men's Gold Rush tournament. Congratulations to Dragon Lee. And we'll see who he faces, either Logan Paul or Javion Evans, in the next round. Adam Pierce, I appreciate you allowing me to have this meeting with you. There's a lot of stuff I've been wanting to get off my chest, part of the Undisputed Era, I was kind of narrow-sighted on how I approached things, and I treated this whole roster like crap, and I own up to it, and I've destroyed a lot of human beings. I was on a little warpath here in NXT just to make a name for myself. I thought people were actually looking out for me. I thought MJF wanted to get the best out of me. I thought Adam Cole and Adam Page had the same thing. They were looking for the best to get out of me, but they just wanted me to do their dirty work so they can accomplish their goals. Obviously, we became the NXT Tag Team Champions. MJF, not too much. You had some big wins, but never became NXT Champion. But for me, I destroyed this whole roster. I even took out a former NXT General Manager. And I feel absolutely bad about that. And I'm not saying I need you guys to forgive me for what I did, but I wanted to have a meeting with you, and I wanted to get everything off my chest, because after NXT Gold Rush, I don't know what my future looks like here on this brand. There is one thing I do know, Adam Pierce. I know that my contract is up at NXT Gold Rush, and so is MJF's, Adam Cole's, and Adam Page. So if I'm going to go out, I'm going out with a bang in that gauntlet matchup, or basically what we like to call it is a 2 out of 3 or three stages of hell match is actually the greater word for that matchup, because that's exactly what it is. Especially a Extreme Rules match, a tables match, and a casket match. I like having that casket match just because we're burying what I have between myself and MJF. The better man wins. If it's him, so be it. But if it's me, I want to end my NXT career or whatever it may be entailing after that matchup on a high note. But there's also one more thing I'd like to ask of you. Adam, I know you don't have a main event right now. I know tonight you have a lot of the start of the Queen and King side of the Gold Rush tournament that we have, but there is a main event I have for you, and I think it'd be a good idea. I think it'd be the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Adam Page, MJF, against myself and 2 other partners. And for me, it's going to be hard to try to find 2 partners for the rest of tonight's show, but if I have to, I'll have an early 1-on-3 gauntlet matchup or handicap match, whatever the hell I need to do. So what do you say, Adam? Wardlow, I appreciate you being up and honest with me. And yes, you did. You did so much havoc to this roster that it's kind of changed the landscape of kind of how NXT is brought to light, especially the main event picture. Everyone's been kind of thrown around and beaten down, and yeah, you're right. The Undisputed Era are kind of the main guys that have reamed the good things that have come out of you destroying this roster. You took out a former NXT general manager. You almost took me out if it wasn't for Samoa Joe, if I do remember correctly. So yeah, there's going to be some tension between me and you. But you know what? I'm a man that forgives people. I'm a man that lives day to day wanting people to love, sending love out to the family members every single day, because you just don't know when it's your last. And if you want a match against your former group, I will gladly give it to you, but I just don't know if you can find someone or even 2 people to team up with you tonight. But if you're able to, go right on ahead, but make sure they come out right with you. If they don't, then it's going to be a 1-on-3 handicap match, or we can even turn it into a gauntlet matchup, like you said. But I will make it official. I'll have the contracts all signed up for, and you guys will have the main event tonight on NXT. Well, glad to find out that we do have a main event tonight, and it sounds like we're going to have a possible 6-man tag team matchup later on tonight. The Undisputed Era versus Wardlow and looks like if he can find 2 other partners, we'll see that later tonight in your main event. But now we start the first round of the Gold Rush tournament on the women's side of things, as it will be former NXT Women's Champion, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion Cora Jade in action, taking on the newly crowned NXT Champion Charlotte Flair 1-on-1. Both Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte are a part of this tournament, and I find it very ironic to be thrown into that tournament. But hey, you know, if we could very well see the finals of that matchup. They're scheduled to face each other at NXT Gold Rush, ladies and gentlemen, already. But could you imagine them getting to the tournament and facing off with each other as well? You just never know. You just have two matches. I mean, it'd be more of almost like a money match, essentially, is what it would be. But now, ladies and gentlemen, there is your newly crowned NXT Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, making her way down to the ring. She now is, when it comes to the main championships here in WWE, the Raw Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, and now the NXT Women's Championship, she is a Grand Slam champion. She has not obviously won the United States Intercontinental Championship or even the tag team titles here in Universe Mode, but when it comes to the main championship, she is a Grand Slam champion there. And now with her having 5 weeks to kind of get herself ready to take on Tiffany Stratton for that NXT Championship, I'm very curious to see how her head goes into that NXT Gold Rush Premium Live event, because right now, not only does she have to prepare for Tiffany Stratton, she also has to prepare a part of this Gold Rush tournament. She very well could be known as the Queen of NXT. Certainly she's already on the top of the mountain, is Charlotte Flair, but it could even solidify her career even further if not only winning the NXT Women's Championship, herself winning the NXT's Queen Gold Rush tournament as well. Let's go ahead and see who will be the first one to advance a part of this Gold Rush tournament for the women's side of things. Referee has officially rung the bell. Here we go. Rebound. Ooh, what a big boot there early on there from Charlotte Flair. That's not going to be feeling too good for Cora Jade. And for Tiffany Stratton, she's bound to be watching this matchup in the back or wherever she may be. I have not seen Tiffany Stratton just yet. That's, oh goodness. Backbreaker into the STO. Charlotte Flair coming right out of the gate, coming right after Cora Jade, as she should. Both these women are not fan favorites whatsoever, so it's hard to really see who really gets the quote-unquote fan advantage per se. As look at Charlotte, NXT Women's Champion, rubbing it in everybody's face here in Orlando, and she had enough time to connect with a brutal forearm strike into the corner. And again, just stomping away. Brutal kicks to that midsection, the more of the sternum, the chest area there of Cora Jade. And for Cora Jade, she's gonna have to try to figure out the Queen real quick, because if not, Charlotte Flair will make this an easy night. And for Charlotte, she probably would love that. Easily advance into this tournament, and with everyone in this tournament, she's probably gonna be the favorite. With the new signings being in the tournament, we don't know what to necessarily expect just yet. We've heard great things, and everybody, I'm sure we've seen it all online and through, Instagram, YouTube, and all sorts of other devices, streaming services, of how good those women have been, but we have not seen them here in Universe Mode. We have not seen them here in WWE just yet, and that's a whole different ball game, ladies and gentlemen. As Cora Jade tossing her out to the apron, trying to take her out, and a big stunner as Cora Jade takes down Charlotte, but Charlotte with a kip up, and Charlotte meeting her at ringside. That is the Queen, ladies and gentlemen. She has done so much here in Universe mode that she very well could get herself maybe the first ever WWE Hall of Fame thing here in Universe mode, with just the amount of matches that she's had, high quality matches, and especially being a WWE Grand Slam champion. Big haymaker there from Charlotte. And now going to work, right there in that right knee as well. That certainly going to set up that figure 4 into the figure 8 leg lock. As now Charlotte going to connect with a big knee right across the template. Right there, the temple. And now, again, Charlotte just beating the living snot out of Cora Jade right now. You cannot allow a woman like Charlotte to continue to do this. Cora Jade's going to be in a world of hurt if this continues. Especially get that leg attack. That goes right into the game plan of Charlotte Flair. She doesn't need to necessarily connect, per se, with the figure 4 or figure 8, but that opens up more options in her repertoire. That's what makes Charlotte Flair's moveset so well-rounded, that she can work with the best of the best. And, you know, if the submission's not working one night, she can hit natural selection. She can hit the moonsault from the top rope. There's just so much that Charlotte can do that just makes her well-rounded here in WWE. And now Cora Jade back inside the ring with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte now gonna make her pay with natural selection. And Charlotte now could be moments away from picking up a big win and advancing. Here we go, pinfall, shoulders are down, referee is right there. 2, 3, making light work of Cora Jade with Charlotte Flair tonight. And Charlotte Flair is the first one to advance a part of the Gold Rush tournament for the women's side of things. Like I said, Charlotte's going to be the odds-on favorite to win this tournament, unless we see something out of new signings here in that Gold Rush tournament. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see who faces Dragon Lee in the next round of the King of the Ring side of things of the Gold Rush tournament here in NXT. Will it be Logan Paul, or will it be Jade Evans? For Logan Paul, this is the first time we've seen Logan Paul since his ambulance matchup with Kenny Omega. We talked to Logan Paul backstage earlier on tonight, and you know, when we talk to him, it seems like he's content with that match, but he obviously wasn't too happy with losing it. He said he had Kenny Omega a couple times in that matchup. He just wasn't able to follow through at times, and he admitted Kenny Omega was the better wrestler that night. But he said part of this Gold Rush tournament, he very well can get back to challenging for the NXT Championship. He just has to go through 7 other losers. So we'll see how this how Logan Paul faces off with Jade Evans here tonight. It's very, very special, and we've seen a handful of matches so far in the career of Jade Evans. We'll see if tonight's the night for him to build off so far in his career what he's done here in Universe mode. Big time event for all these superstars in this event. Certainly Dragon Lee going to be able to have a breakout moment, already defeating Oba Femi. Certainly Oba Femi's not going to be too happy. 2 straight losses to the LWO. He is still challenging for the NXT North American Championship, but Oba Femi is going to have to fix his strategy very, very quickly, because right now, you know, he's he's struggling right now. And after what he did to Carlito, you would think that, you know, winning matches is what you need to do to be even more impressive, but right now it's not able to. But let's focus on this Gold Rush tournament here. Matchup has officially started. Let's see how these two fare off with each other. So, ooh, big stomp early on right there in the midsection. Javion Evans looking in this early, and I don't blame him. I think either matchup, either a Logan Paul versus Dragon Lee or Dragon Lee versus Javion Evans in that next round very well could be a show stealer for sure, I believe. We just witnessed Charlotte Flair pick up a big win for herself. What a torpedo springboard maneuver there from Javion Evans. But like we said, Charlotte Flair just advanced a part of that Gold Rush tournament. And later on tonight, it's going to be Roxanne Perez taking on the NXT debut of Giulia. Really looking forward to that. So, okay, a little cockiness showing out of Javion Evans, but this young OG, man, he's super, super impressive. And when you take on a man like Logan Paul, ladies and gentlemen, you kind of have to pull out those maneuvers at times because that's what Logan Paul's going to be doing to him. So it's better to dish it out early instead of waiting for Logan Paul to start doing that to you. And talking about that ambulance match real quick for that NXT Championship. What a match that was. As a pinfall attempt, shoulders are down, but Logan Paul not able to put him away just yet. That matchup was really good. I mean, the amount of times that they going back and forth, I mean, certainly I would say the key point in the matchup was Kenny Omega taking Logan Paul off the top of the ambulance and, you know, obviously doing big maneuvers on top of the ambulance and then throwing him off the ambulance. That only helped out Omega even further. But certainly it was a good showing for Logan Paul. Shows that, you know, even though a lot of people don't like him, he has, you know, he definitely has it. I mean, he can talk on the microphone. He can wrestle with just about anybody in the middle of that ring. And right now we're seeing it right now as Javion Evans and Logan Paul going back and forth. Oh, big kick there from Javion Evans. And now springboard, clothesline, no! Logan Paul moves out the way. Can Logan capitalize? Pinfall, shoulders are down, referee is right there. But a big kick out there. Logan Paul was hoping he could steal one. And do you blame him? Big opportunity to, you got to take what you can at moments in this match. And just rake in the face there. Referee's got to be very careful there that does not continue. Kind of let some leeway go, but you just can't allow Logan Paul to continue to do those type of maneuvers. It's a big punch there, sending a message back to Logan. As another pinfall attempt, shoulders are down, but a strong kick out at one. Really looking forward to this tournament, man. There's a lot of younger guys a part of this tournament, and really looking forward to see the other LWO members a part of this tournament. Having Santos Escobar, we'll see him next week here live on NXT. He'll be a part of it as well. Chad Gable will be a part of it. He did suffer a big loss against MJF at the NXT Spring Break and pay-per-view, but I think for Chad Gable, you just gotta learn and know what you need to do better. He'll be a part of that Dusty Rhodes Cup tournament for Alpha Academy, so really looking forward to that as well. Now Javion Evans looking to connect with some big maneuvers. Here we go. Nice, almost like different shades of a blue thunder bomb there. Could that be enough? Two. No, Logan Paul able to kick out. And now springboard moonsault there from Javion Evans. Very close. Can he keep this up? Young OG's bringing the fight to Logan Paul. Now Evans telling Logan Paul that this is it. Big 5-star frog splash from Javion Evans. Surprised he doesn't go for the pinfall. This is the moment Javion Evans needs and wants for him to have his breakout moment. And again, Javion Evans, what is he thinking? Elbow drop right across the chest. And again, the young OG is not done. Another frog splash. He is really targeting the ribs right now, and what else does Javion Evans need to do? It's a big kick across the temple there of Logan Paul. Javion Evans very close to possibly walking out victorious. And now, going for brain buster, maybe suplex of sorts, but Logan Paul able to slip out and connects with a vicious clothesline to the back of the knee. Evans now with a rebounding knee strike right across the temple. Evans now trying to decide what he wanted him to do. He ran into the referee briefly. Evans all fired up, talking some trash to Logan Paul. Snapmare takedown into, going for a drop kick of sorts. Didn't work out in his favor. This is the type of matchup you want to have in the first round of this Gold Rush tournament. Putting it all on the line. Is Logan Paul officially 100%? He says he is, but I don't really believe him. He's been kind of stagnant at times. Javion Evans has dominated this matchup as Logan Paul misses the 5-star frog splash. And now this may be the moment Evans needs to put him away. It's a big closed-handed punch. Takes down Logan Paul. Back and forth we go, ladies and gentlemen. Up next will be the second first round matchup, as we'll see Roxanne Perez taking on Giulia. We'll see who advances. The winner of that matchup, pardon me, will take on Charlotte Flair one-on-one as a moonsault there from Javion Evans. Is that it? 2, 3, yes it is. Javion Evans with a big win tonight for the young OG. And Javion Evans will be facing off with Dragon Lee the next time a part of that Gold Rush tournament. Congratulations to Javion Evans. It took us a while. It took myself a while to get stuff going, to get Chase U started up, but everything's looking like it's going just straight up from here. We just got Thea Hail. She became the women's first ever North American champion. That's great for her. And me and you will be teaming up a part of the Dusty Cup. And we'll be challenging the New Day for those tag team titles. But we have a lot of competitors to go through first. How you feeling, Duke? Well, you're definitely right on one thing, Chase, and it's definitely Thea Hail becoming women's NXT North American champion. I mean, I'm not saying I doubted Thea, but I think she's still very young in her career, and she's very raw. And I mean, the only thing I can say is congratulations, and for her to continue to fight and scratch and claw, and myself and you will continue to keep on coaching her. I know this tag team tournament that has both of us in it. I mean, it's literally going to be probably one of the toughest tests that we've faced our whole entire career. I know it's pretty tough for you to recruit people for our university, Chase, but I think we have a pretty good showing, and we have the best possibility of walking out winners of that tournament. So I'm 100% confident, Chase. I'm happy to hear that, Duke. I don't know who we are drawing in the first round of that tournament, but as soon as I know, I'll let you know. But I say we have good chances as well, just like you said. But I need to go find Thea and talk to her about her upcoming matchup at Gold Rush. I know it's going to be a fatal 4-way matchup. I'm going to see if I can talk to Adam Pierce and kind of figure out who that's exactly going to be so we can train her up and get her ready for her defense. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Roxanne Perez to take on the newly signed NXT talent known as Giulia. She's wrestled all over there in Japan as Giulia, but now she will be making her NXT debut, a part of this Gold Rush tournament. From what we understand, one of the top women there in Japan. Certainly she's been the top over there, and certainly Adam Pierce must have watched a lot of Giulia for certainly to get her to be signed here to NXT. Haven't seen too much of Giulia just yet, so we'll kind of be this in kind of together, I suppose, because certainly with the amount of talent that we're signing here to NXT, there's a lot of women being signed. So it's great for these women to continue to push, scratch, and claw to the top. As now here comes Giulia, the newest signing to NXT. Certainly is going to bring a lot to the table, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready for her to tear down the house here. And certainly with the introduction of the Women's North American Championship, certainly lots of other women that necessarily don't maybe get the looks in the main event pictures and can certainly fight for the North American Championship, which is nothing wrong with that. And even if that doesn't work out, there's the women's tag team division as well. So it definitely offers the women all sorts of different situations, scenarios that they can really go after. It's a great time to be a woman in professional wrestling with the amount of opportunities that they are getting. But let's see if Roxanne Perez, a former NXT champion, former NXT Tag Team Champion, can get the job done tonight. Will it be Giulia's night, or will there be a ruined debut tonight live here on NXT? Now Roxanne with the rebound. Oh, what a vicious uppercut, takes down Giulia. And look at Roxanne, she's trying to hype up this crowd here tonight. Do you blame her? Why not? Just try to, certainly get this crowd behind her. Certainly Roxanne, a big fan favorite here in NXT, especially with the amount of stuff that she's had to deal with here in NXT with her Cora Jade turning her back on here a couple months ago, but it was a lot longer than that. It was probably close to at least a year, it feels like, if not a little bit less, but certainly, it was a shame it went that way. Went back and forth for months and months of it, and then obviously they're just still trying to stay atop of this women's division here in NXT. As Giulia just pounding the head and neck area of Roxanne Perez right down there in that neck, and right now just starting to dissect Roxanne Perez, as you should be. And this will be a perfect time to really see that moveset come into play tonight with Giulia. That Japanese moveset that she is well known for. As now Roxanne gonna try to roll over the ropes, trying to recuperate herself. Giulia now, big boot over the top rope. Down goes Roxanne Perez, but now Roxanne right back up to her feet and gonna look to make her pay with this flying head scissors takedown. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-main event of the evening, as Roxanne Perez looking for a powerbomb, maybe on the apron. Could you imagine if she hit something like that? But Giulia able to fight out of it, and Giulia now from behind with a brutal back suplex. I knew this matchup was going to be brutal, but didn't realize it was going to be that brutal, at least here at ringside. Giulia now looking to go back to work here. Off the ropes we go. Roxanne Perez with a Luthez press. Punch in the face there, Giulia. Back and forth we go. Great matchup so far. Has a nice impaler DDT. Spikes her on her head. But now, Roxanne Perez. Oh, almost like a page turner. Shout out to Paige. But back up to her feet. Oh, here comes Giulia. Bringing those strong strikes right there to the temple there of Roxanne Perez. And Roxanne may be in trouble. Giulia now gonna connect. Oh goodness, okay. Looks like that definitely hurt. As now Roxanne in a bad way. Giulia with a flying knee right to the ribs. That very well could be it, ladies and gentlemen. Not even a 2 count. Strong kick out from Roxanne. And look at Giulia. She's trying to get this crowd behind her as well, saying, hey, what do you think of me so far, NXT Universe? Oh no, Roxanne playing possum there. Big kick to that right knee, and then a running clothesline takes her down. But Giulia right there, that adrenaline flowing right through her, right back up to her feet. Roxanne, though, Gonna look to capitalize with some snake eyes and takes down Roxanne in the corner. The prodigy of NXT taking it to Giulia at this moment. And now looking to put away Giulia. Is she going to spoil the debut here live on NXT of Giulia? Looking for some pop rocks. Takes down Giulia. Pinfall. 2. No, strong kick out from Giulia. And Roxanne cannot believe it. But the prodigy, she needs to stay on Giulia. And now, oh goodness. And you're seeing more of aggression coming out of Roxanne Perez. She's definitely feeling that frustration right now. That maneuver would normally put away her opponents. But at this very time, she's not putting away Giulia just yet. Now Giulia, what is she thinking about doing to Roxanne? Big elbow reversal though. That stunned Giulia for just a second. But now back and forth we go. Giulia just trying to figure out what she wants to do at this time. And, you know, getting her first match here in NXT in such a high-pressured situation, it's very hard to really counter to the WWE style. As, oh, look at this maneuver. Almost like a Black Widow of AJ Lee back in the day everybody knows of. And now Roxanne, oh, nice face buster takedown there of Giulia. Giulia gonna go for the pinfall, or I should say Roxanne gonna go for the pinfall, I believe. Yes, she does. Did she take enough time away though after that DDT? Yes, she did. Roxanne Perez picks up a big win in her career, and she advances. It will be Roxanne versus Charlotte Flair in the next round, pardon me, of the Gold Rush tournament. Looking forward to seeing that one. Tough one tonight for Giulia, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it wasn't the debut she wanted, but tonight she got that first in-ring experience here in WWE. A big win, a big match, and what the hell? Cora Jade. She lost earlier tonight to Charlotte Flair, and now she's taking it to Giulia. What in the hell is going on? Why the hell is Cora Jade out here? I don't know what the hell is going on, ladies and gentlemen. Cora Jade not too happy about losing earlier on tonight, and now taking out frustrations on Giulia. I understand women coming in, but I feel like now she feels threatened by Giulia. And now Cora Jade leaving her all by herself inside the ring with all by herself. As you can tell here, Giulia not too happy. She's a little frustrated with what just happened. Cora Jade just coming out here and attacking her for some reason. And you can see Roxanne right behind her with a steel chair there, maybe looking to protect her. And which you need a friend on this roster. It's a good idea. Roxanne looking at Cora, and look, what the hell? What the hell? Roxanne, what the hell is this? Can somebody explain to me what in the hell's going on? Cora Jade and now Roxanne. Two former tag team partners. Cora Jade threw her to the wayside last year, and now it seems like both of them are working together. Can someone explain to me what in the heck is going on here? And now Roxanne with some pop rocks there to Giulia. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't have an answer for you. This is just as horrendous again. This has been multiple times. Giulia has been taken down with a steel chair tonight. And again, Giulia laid waste tonight here on NXT. And this is not even your main event, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big debut for Giulia, and this is how she is treated. It's just like, come on, ladies and gentlemen. And Roxanne now meeting Cora Jade at the stage. Is this coincidence that they're just working together? And oh, well, I mean, it seems like they're giving each other pleasantries right now. So it seems like we may just have seen the reunion of Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez here in NXT. What a deadly duo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is main event time here on NXT, as it will be the Undisputed Era taking on the team of Wardlow and two other competitors. Can only imagine who those competitors may be. Obviously, with seen the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Adam Page, MJF. They don't really care to be seen here in NXT. Certainly, they don't give a crap about anyone here in NXT. It's a damn shame, turning their own back on Wardlow. They had Wardlow decimate this whole roster for well over a year so they could clean up the straps and pick up championships. And now this man that has done all that for them, he's let loose even further. And stunning revelation too, Wardlow's contract and the rest of the Undisputed Era contracts come to an end live at NXT Gold Rush. So we'll have to wait and see if any of those guys get signed at all whatsoever. So it's going to be a do or die for all four men, and they're going to have all something to play for there at NXT. But who was Wardlow able to find? Was he able to find anybody? I don't even know who'd want to team up with Wardlow after what he did to this roster. Let's find out. Oh, so somebody's music's playing. Who is it gonna be? Oh, there's Kenny Omega. He's bringing out the the old NXT Championship, ladies and gentlemen. The championship he did lose live there for that NXT Championship, technically, with that cash-in. He is not the NXT champion right now, obviously not. That is Ethan Page. But Ethan Page, or I should say for Kenny Omega, maybe he's sending a message to Ethan Page as well, bringing out that old NXT championship. But certainly we're going to see that in 5 weeks time, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Kenny Omega versus Ethan Page. I heard nothing about Kenny Omega being here live tonight, so this is a huge surprise for me. Definitely wasn't expecting that, and not expecting Kenny Omega to come out with that old NXT championship that he held very, very long here in NXT. Well up close to probably over, well, it had to be close up to a year, if not a little bit longer than that. Omega did quite well with that championship, but there's only two of them. That's Wardlow and Kenny Omega. Were they able to find another one? I don't know who else would want to honestly team up to put away the Undisputed Era. Let's see. Someone's entrance is playing for something, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Is it just mind games? Is it... Oh. This entrance looks familiar, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, a man that has not been here since before WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. It is Malachi Black. He has returned here back to NXT. Like we said, he's been gone for several months there. He was on the NXT roster for probably a good while, and then obviously after WrestleMania, we have not seen him since, but it seems like Malachi Black is back here in NXT. Wardlow, I don't know how he was able to talk to Malachi Black, how he was able to get him to join this group of sorts, but certainly Malachi Black is back here in NXT after a little bit of a hiatus here in NXT. He is back with a little bit of a different look tonight, but it looks like we're going to have ourselves a six-man tag. The Undisputed Era taking on Wardlow, Kenny Omega, and this man, Malachi Black. The future is definitely bright with us, man. Former NXT UK champion is Aleister Black. He's done a lot of big things in his career here in NXT, and especially on SmackDown years and years ago. But let's see how he fares tonight in this six-man tag. This is a dream tag team opponent here, as Wardlow and Adam Page will kick us off a part of this matchup. But Wardlow, Kenny Omega, and Malachi Black against Adam Cole, Adam Page, and MJF. Certainly feels like that go-home show of Monday Night Raw that we saw with the 4-on-4 tag team matchup. So that was an impressive maneuver there from Adam Page. Not just that moonsault we just saw, as look at Adam Page coming right after Malachi Black, and now Page coming after the former NXT champion, Kenny Omega. And for Omega, he's run through MJF, Adam Cole, Adam Page as well. So certainly, Undisputed Era would love to get some payback for sure on that. And if you guys don't know, coming up at NXT Gold Rush, it's going to be a 3 stages of hell match for Wardlow, as he's going to go through 3 stages of hell against the Undisputed Era. You're going to have one match of an Extreme Rules match stipulation. Another matchup will be a tables match, so I believe it'll be the table match will be against Adam Page, as well as the casket match will be against MJF. So a lot of big time action coming up at Gold Rush, and now we got the Dusty Cup involved. We got all sorts of big things coming up. A part of Gold Rush is Adam Cole trying to pick up a big win over the former NXT champion, and that being Wardlow. Cashed in on Kenny Omega. Wardlow said, "Hey, I'm gonna allow Kenny Omega to have a rematch anytime, anywhere he can name it." And certainly that open challenge, though, that Wardlow had, it came back to bite him. And the Undisputed Era, they were sick of having Wardlow, being bigger than the actual group. They said Wardlow got bigger than the group, and that has to end. So we'll see how much further this is going to go with them. I mean, it's going to come to an end at NXT Gold Rush in 5 weeks' time, but they have a chance to re-sign with WWE and NXT, or if they want to be free agents. You just never know what that's going to look like. Now, obviously, it depends on what Mr. Adam Pierce wants to do as well, your NXT general manager. Is MJF taking it to Wardlow right now? Wardlow and MJF certainly are the two guys that started this whole thing, just in the terms of MJF getting Wardlow to leave the Blackpool Combat Club to realize his potential. And I mean, that's basically how Wardlow was be able to really take stuff to the next level. He took out everyone in the part of the Blackpool Combat Club. Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Cesaro. We have not seen any of them since. And then, Wardlow ran through the main event picture. And, obviously that leaves Adam Cole, Adam Page, and MJF to, satisfy what they want to accomplish. Even though MJF didn't win a championship, Adam Cole, Adam Page became tag team champions, even though losing those recently to the New Day at NXT Spring Break-In. As now we get Omega and MJF here. Could be maybe their final encounter against each other in this 5-week build-up between, obviously, Wardlow and the rest of the Undisputed Era. Malachi Black looking a little different with the face paint, as well as maybe some of that in-ring attire as well. As here we go with a pinfall attempt from Kenny Omega, but MJF with a strong kick out. But this is your main event, ladies and gentlemen. Big time matchup here. And like I said, I'd like to know how Malachi Black gets involved with this whole situation, and how does Wardlow get Kenny Omega to join him? I'm sure there's certainly going to be some questions that have to be answered, especially, like we said, after Wardlow has done so much damage to a lot of this roster over this past year. It's hard to really say, like, oh my, like, you know, you ran through everybody, but like, oh, okay, I'm okay, perfectly fine with tag teaming with you. I mean, there's got to be a definite answer. We saw earlier on tonight, Wardlow apologized face-to-face to Adam Pierce, the NXT GM. He said, hey, I understand you don't have to necessarily forgive me. I'm not looking for forgiveness. I'm just want to apologize for everything that I've caused with the attacks and everything I did over the past year here in NXT. There's a Russian leg sweep there from Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole just eating this up, and oh, look at this. These two have had a history together here in NXT, surely, especially even on SmackDown together. As what a knee strike there from Malachi Black. Big knee strike there from Adam Cole right into the midsection, almost like essentially a gut buster there. Again, just stomping away on that left knee, that left ankle of Malachi Black. Certainly slowing him down in his return here to NXT. Logan mentioned this is the first time we've seen Malachi in months now. Ever since, you know, I would say WrestleMania of sorts. It's good to see him. Looks like he hasn't lost a step as of yet. As the explosive back suplex pinfall attempt. Is this enough? No, just a strong 1 count. Look at Malachi Black saying, hey, come on, why don't you come on, get back up. As he does get a tag, MJF and Malachi Black gonna go at it now. Back and forth we go. Uh-oh, maybe looking for... Oh, okay. Vicious maneuver there from MJF. But Wardlow right there to break it up. Ooh, nice maneuver there out of nowhere from Malachi Black, turning MJF inside out, just making him hit his face on that. And look at Malachi Black toying with MJF here with these kicks right to the face, telling him to do something about it, essentially. And like we mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, the Gold Rush tournament will continue next week here, as well as we will start the Dusty Cup matchups as well. Chase University will be in action. We don't know who they will be facing just yet, but we will get our answer very, very soon. As look at that maneuver from MJF. What a maneuver. Sorry, I didn't try to go for the pinfall, even though Malachi Black did actually roll over to the ropes there, but a big time clothesline from Adam Page. And now Adam Page gonna go after once again Kenny Omega here, and a big old back suplex right there on the apron. But Malachi Black with the cutter, and now gonna hit a vicious submission hold here. We've seen this multiple times in Malachi Black's career, but certainly does enough damage there to Adam Cole, at least a little bit anyway. Adam Cole tossing away Black so that he can focus on the legal man, that being Kenny Omega. And now, I guess, certainly looks like Adam Page wants to get himself more of Malachi Black. Yeah, I believe actually Malachi Black was the legal man, not Kenny Omega, pardon me. Misspoke. And again, Adam Page continuing to want to send a message to Kenny Omega with these back suplexes. I understand it to an extent, ladies and gentlemen, but continuing to have to go to the well as MJF is taken out of the picture as well by Malachi Black. And now Wardlow may be another superstar being taken out, but it's not, as Malachi Black was able to get back in just enough time. Oh, look at the strength and power, man. And Malachi Black absolutely bringing the fight, and a big punt kick to the dome of Adam Page. And now here comes the former NXT champion Kenny Omega. Certainly probably, I would say, the longest reigning NXT champion in the history of NXT. Adam Page springboard, going for the clothesline. Took up way too much time, and we'll see if Kenny Omega can capitalize. No, he cannot. Look at those fast strikes from Adam Page. Bringing the absolute fight. An even brutal powerbomb as well. And now Adam Cole, bye-bye, is going to get tagged in. Let's see how this fares between both of these men. Back and forth we go off the ropes. Adam Cole with a big old back body drop pinfall opportunity. Will this be enough to put away the former champion? No. So close though. 2.5. Rebound clothesline into the corner. Certainly Kenny Omega wants to show everybody that he is close to 100% as possible. Omega has been dropped on his back probably, like, I would say 3 times by Adam Page in this matchup on that apron. So certainly if he wasn't 100% coming into this matchup, he's definitely not going to be 100% as of right now, for sure. As Omega gonna get tossed into the corner by Adam Cole. Back and forth we go. Gonna get another tag. Here comes everyone's favorite scumbag, that being MJF. Back and forth we go. Oh, goodness. Knee strike into a vicious pile driver. And now, Omega, vicious knee strike to the temple. Is that enough? 1, 2. No, MJF with a brutal kick out. That maneuver was a vicious Frankensteiner, is what Omega hit before that vicious knee strike. And no, not rug burn on the face there. That's MJF for you. He's gonna scratch and claw the whole entire time, but to take a move like that, ladies and gentlemen, oh, is it worth it? And now MJF gonna look to go for that arm bar. Will Kenny Omega have to tap out? Malachi Black trying to break it up, it seems. Referee not acknowledging it, and MJF letting go of it. And now here comes Adam Cole. Gonna get the hot tag. Here comes Wardlow. Wardlow wants himself some of Adam Cole, baby. And now Wardlow gonna try to decimate whoever's in his way. And now Adam Cole doing 2-for-1 specials here. And now big kick to the temple there of Wardlow. That fairy could be enough. 2. No. Just a 2 count, and the matchup continues. Adam Cole with those vicious strikes right there to the body, and a big clothesline in their own right. Wardlow, big shoulder tackle, takedown there. Trying to go for a clothesline. Adam Cole a little bit faster in that exchange. And oh, Wardlow busted wide open. Here comes Kenny Omega. And now going to show those punches here. Oh, and the Dragon Ball Z punch right to the face there. Or right to the chest. And now Omega, this is what has won him multiple matches in his NXT career. Omega's going to do it. 2, 3, yes it is. Kenny Omega and company pick up the win tonight. Wardlow, Omega, and Malachi Black. Probably a very unexpected tag team win tonight, but they worked together to pick up a win tonight to end NXT. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you on NXT next week.